Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share super easy ways for storing fresh produce for longer, which helps me to get best usage of my groceries. It is also budget friendly and prevents wastage of food. But before I start, I would like to show you something. This is the watch time hours of my channel and here is the subscribers rate. 92% of people are watching without subscribing. So please guys support me by subscribing to my channel. Now let's proceed with the video. Most people after coming home from grocery shopping place their things straight into the refrigerator. This way moisture will build up inside the packets. Moisture is a main thing which spoils our food very quickly. So all you need to do is open the packets before placing them in refrigerator. This way, the air can circulate nicely and reduce the moisture, keeping it fresh for long. Some packaging has these tiny holes where air can circulate nicely. For herbs, to keep them fresh more than a week, all you need to do is open the package and remove any rubber bands or threads which they are tied in. Loosen up the bundle a little bit and then place a small tissue inside to absorb the excess moisture. Then place it in refrigerator. You can also wrap them in kitchen tissue. All you need to do is remove from the packaging, spread nicely on a kitchen tissue, roll them up and place them in refrigerator. But this way is more convenient for me as it stays fresh for more than a week. I'm also sharing 2 more ways for storing them for longer, so please keep watching the video. To store lettuce for more than 2 weeks, you need to remove the packaging first and then take a big piece of aluminum foil to cover entire lettuce. Now wrap it nice and tight and then refrigerate it. Make sure to wrap it back after every use. This way, it will retain its freshness for longer. Till now, I have shown some tips on storing stuff in refrigerator after grocery shopping. Now, let's see the groceries which are about to expire, how we can increase their shelf life without wasting food. Or if you have purchased in bulk during season and would like to store them for long. Here is a bag of spinach which is on its last date of expiry. As you can see in the video, it's half of the bag and I really don't want to throw it away. So, I will cook it and refrigerate it so it will extend its life for 2 or 3 days. To cook spinach, heat a pan on medium flame and then add little oil. Once the oil is hot, add the spinach leaves and cook until it's completely wilted. It's completely wilted here. Now, I'm going to turn off the flame and transfer it into a different bowl. Add a little cold water. This helps in retaining its green color and also stops the cooking process. Blend it to a fine paste. Once it cools down to room temperature, add little salt and refrigerate it. This paste stays fresh for 3 days in refrigerator, so you can use it in your favorite cooking. I use this paste in my cooking for making palak paneer or add this paste while kneading dough for chapatis or puris. You can also prepare spinach rice. The options are endless. The next thing is lemons. For a convenient storage, I always prefer to buy unwaxed lemons. This way, you can just straight put them in refrigerator and they stay fresh for a couple of weeks. Lemon halves tend to dry up quickly when placed in refrigerator. So, before you place them, wrap it with the aluminum foil like shown in video and then place it in refrigerator. This way, you can get best use of it. For those who prefer to store lemons for longer, there are 2 ways guys. One is just simply squeeze the juice of lemons and then pour it in ice cube trays and deep freeze them. This way, the juice will stay fresh up to 3 months. All you need to do is just pop out a cube and use it in your favorite smoothies, drinks, or you can also use them in cooking. I have a recipe for lemon rice on my channel guys. I'll leave the link in the description box below for those who are interested. The second method is pickling. You can prepare lemon pickle and this will increase the shelf life. I already have lemon pickle recipe on my channel. I will leave the link below, so do check the description box for more information. Next, tomatoes. This is one of my favorite methods to store tomatoes for long. I have washed them nicely and air-dried. Now, remove all the stems and core of the tomatoes. Now, you can freeze them directly in your freezer. Just wrap them individually with a cling film or place them in a food-safe freezer bag. You can also slice the tomatoes and then freeze them, but make sure you have pre-portioned them and store it in a food-safe freezer bag or in a container, as it will be easy to remove once they are freezed. Just pop them out 5 minutes before you start cooking and they'll be ready for chopping or blending the way you prefer in your cooking. Again, I'm not mentioning any recipes here as the video will get very lengthy, so do check the description below for all the recipes which I'm mentioning in this video. The other method is by making tomato puree and then storing it. For this, first I'm going to blend the tomatoes, then heat a pan on medium flame. Once the pan is hot, add oil and then add tomato puree. Cover and cook until it's completely reduced. Make sure to stir in between. You can see the oil started to release from sides and it's completely reduced. And then add little salt and turn off the flame. After it cools down completely, transfer the tomato puree into an airtight container and then refrigerate it. The tomato puree will stay fresh up to 10 days in refrigerator, so you can use it whenever you need it in your cooking. You can also freeze this tomato puree, which will extend its shelf life. Just fill the ice cube tray with tomato puree and then freeze it. After it's frozen completely, just pop it out and use it in your cooking. Personally, I would like to finish all my frozen things within 1 month, but this puree is good to go up to 2 months in freezer. Next, potatoes. Potatoes tend to sprout very quickly when placed with onions, so keep them away from onions. If potatoes are about to sprout, then the best way to extend its shelf life is by boiling them and placing them in refrigerator. Potatoes are very versatile, and if you have boiled potatoes on hand, you can whip up your meals in no time, whether it may be mash, vegetable cakes, fish cakes or chicken cakes, aloo parathas, patties for chaats and cutlets, sandwiches, and you can make curries in less than 10 minutes. My personal favorite way to cook potatoes is by using microwave. Like I mentioned in my previous videos, it's very convenient and cooks faster. All I do is quarter them and place them in a microwave safe bowl. Then I'll place it in microwave, making sure the steam can escape, and cook accordingly. Then they'll be done in no time without adding any water. Similarly, I do this for other vegetables too. Like sweet potato, I'll do a couple of slits on it and then place it in a microwave safe bowl and cook the same way as potatoes. For carrots, you need to add little water while cooking them or like steaming them in microwave. In same way, you can do beans as well. By having these boiled vegetables on hand, you can just temper them and make the curries ready or serve straight with your dinner. This way, you can save a lot of time while preparing meals. Let them cool completely and then wrap it with a cling film or store them in an airtight container and then refrigerate it. This way, they will stay fresh up to a week. While reheating food, make sure to take the required amount and heat it rather than heating up the whole thing multiple times. Now, let's get back to the herbs like I mentioned earlier in the video. For herbs which are really muddy, the best way to clean them is take a bowl filled with room temperature water, add a tablespoon of salt and then add all the herbs and let it soak for 5 minutes. For coriander, just rip off the roots at the bottom and the stalks are good for cooking. After 5 minutes, drain the water out and then wash it again with fresh water. Then place it on kitchen towel and let it air dry. The herbs are nicely air dried here. Now you can store them in 2 ways. If I got lot of mint and coriander on hand, then first thing I prefer to do is making it into a green chutney. And I'll save it for a long time without any preservatives, so I can have it anytime with my snacks. And I'll also use it in my cooking to prepare biryanis or curries. You can find the recipe in description box below, so please check the description box. For second method, I'm going to make the dried herbs. For this, I'm taking coriander. Make sure the leaves are completely dried without any moisture in them. Then take a plate and line it with a kitchen tissue. Place the coriander and then spread it evenly. Pop the plate in microwave and turn on the power and keep checking in 1-minute intervals until it's completely done. Turn the leaves in between as they can be dried evenly. Cooking time depends upon the quantity of herbs you are using to dry, and different microwave models have slightly different power settings. So keep an eye on and check for every 1 minute or 30 seconds until it's completely dried. You can see in the video the coriander has turned nice and crispy. If I crush it with my hand, it's turning into powder. This is perfectly done. Now let's see how to make dried herbs at home if you haven't got a microwave. All you need to do is just heat a pan on low flame and add herbs. Here I'm adding coriander leaves and roast them until they turn nice and crispy. The leaves are nicely dried here. If I use my hand to crush them, they are turning into fine powder. Turn off the flame and let it cool down. You can see the difference between the pan and microwave. It's just the color is slightly different, but flavor wise, both taste the same. If you live in sunny place, then all you need to do is place the plate in sunlight and herbs will dry naturally. But if you're like me in UK or any other cold places, then these are the two best ways to make dried herbs at home. After it cools down completely, store it in an airtight jar. You can use this method for all types of herbs. Here I also made mint. This is curry leaves. As most people know, curry leaves are really expensive here in UK. So whenever I go to my mom's house in India, she always makes this dried curry leaves and packs so I can use it in my cooking. Now let's look at fruits. We often end up with 1 or 2 ripe bananas at home by the time we finish our bunch. The convenient way for me is to freeze them. To freeze, I'm going to individually wrap them in aluminium foil as it's easy to defrost and also it's pre-portioned. Peel the skin of bananas and then place it on foil, cut them into small pieces, wrap it and pop it in freezer. With frozen bananas, you can make smoothies and also delicious banana ice cream. Next, berries. No matter how hard I try to clean them and refrigerate properly, still they get moldy on third day. So the first 2 days I enjoy fresh berries from the box. Then on third day I freeze the remaining berries so I can get best use of them. Just before freezing, wash the berries very well and then place them into food safe freezer bags. If the berries are really muddy and you would like to deep clean them, then you can wash them in the salt water like I shown in the video before for herbs. Make sure you remove stalks for strawberries before you place them in freezer bag. Lock the bags and place them in freezer. Frozen berries are very handy. It's very easy to make smoothies during busy mornings. Just mix all the fruits which you put in freezer and blend it in a blender to make a mixed fruit smoothie. If your blender doesn't blend ice, then add little warm water to fruits and then blend it. Smoothie with your favorite breakfast. Such a healthy way to start your day. Next, bread. Bread is something which goes out of date very quickly, within 3 days. And in my family, no matter how small packet I get, it will be still remaining. So I'll place it in refrigerator on last day of expiry. Make sure the bread is fresh without any mold before placing in refrigerator and consume it within 1 week. In same way, you can store brown bread and burger buns as well. For crusts or if you have more bread, then simply make homemade breadcrumbs. For breadcrumbs, blend bread slices in a food processor or blender. Heat a pan on low flame and add breadcrumbs and roast until they turn very crispy. After they are done nice and crispy, turn off the flame. Let it cool down completely, then store it in an airtight jar. These breadcrumbs stay fresh up to 4 months, so you can use it in your favorite cooking. During lockdown, due to pandemic, there was shortage of ginger for a couple of months here in UK. So, whenever they were back in stock, I used to buy extra and freeze them. You can peel the skin and then wrap individually in a cling film or freeze it in its original packaging. I freeze them in its original packaging. Just before using, I leave it on counter for 5 minutes, peel then and use it in my cooking or juices. Next, tortilla wraps. For those remaining tortilla wraps, make them tortilla chips as it goes very well with your guacamole, salsa or hummus. To make the chips, rip the tortilla wrap into small pieces and place it on a microwave safe plate. Place the plate in microwave and cook for 1 minute or 1 minute 30 seconds depending upon the model you are using. Make sure to turn them halfway through. The chips are done here. They are slightly crispy, but once they cool down completely, they turn even more crispier. Now they cool down completely. As you can see, they can snap very easily. These chips are a good option for snacking. If you're looking for a healthy option, then you can make it with chapatis as well. Just make sure to roll them thin and you can cook them in the same way like tortilla wraps. Next, butter. When butter is about to expire, I always make it into clarified butter, which is also called as ghee. Ghee naturally has more shelf life than compared to butter. I already have video on how to make ghee at home. I'll leave the link in description below so you can check from there. Next, cheese. I always prefer to freeze my cheese as it extends its life for 2 months. I like to put them in its original packaging as they'll have date on them. You can also store paneer in the same way. You can also see coconut pieces in my freezer. Whenever we crack coconut during festivals, I always prefer to remove the flesh of the coconut and freeze it as this will extend its life. Next, milk. The best way to store milk is by making yogurt or paneer on the date of expiry. I'll be soon posting videos on how to make paneer or yogurt at home. So please be subscribed to my channel so you won't miss my further notifications. So that's it for today's video guys. With these tips, I managed to survive 3 major lockdowns due to pandemic here in UK. I hope these tips are useful for you as well. If you enjoyed watching today's video, please hit a like and also share it with your family and friends. And please do support me by subscribing to my channel as it can survive in the world of YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching today's video. See you all in my next video. Until then, bye.